Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Winged Beasts by Matt Tressel. So this is an arrow Sudoku, so let's go over the rules. We have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, so in each row, each column, in each 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have arrows in the grid. Arrows are attached to a circle. Digits on an arrow sum to the value in the circle. And there's no additional non-repeat rules beyond Sudoku. So in this case, I could do, say, 2 plus 2 is 4, and that would be perfectly fine. We just take all whatever digits are on the arrow and we fill that into the attached circle. Now this is a separate arrow, but you'll notice it has to share the same sum as this arrow because they share the same cell for the circle. But you can think of it as two overlapping circles if you'd like. And so we could do 1, 3 here, for example. This would be one way to fill these cells and be valid for the arrow. But of course, as always, there is only one solution to this puzzle, so you need to logically fill digits that must be those digits. You can't just guess. I don't recommend it anyway. All right, and that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. The arrow that immediately stands out to me is this one, because we need two different ways to add to this to whatever this digit is. Why do we need two different ways? Well, because we can't repeat any digits between these two arrows. So for example, if I were to try to make this add to 3, this could be 1 plus 2 in some order, but now how do I add to 3 over here? The only way to add to 3 is 1 plus 2, and I'd repeat both the 1 and the 2. So I need two completely distinct ways to add to it. And if you think about it, adding to 3 is 1, 2, adding to 4 is 1, 3 only, because we can't do 2 plus 2 in the same row. And so we're down to 5 or 6 already. And 5 is going to be 1, 4, and 2, 3. So it's going to use 1, 2, 3, 4. And 6 uses 1, 5, and 2, 4, omitting the 3 and the 6. So the 6 is always omitted from these, obviously. I mean, we can't put a 6 on any of these arrows, because what would you add with the 6 to get to whatever the circle is? It would have to be 6 plus 0 is 6 or something. We don't have zeros. So I just highlighted in green everywhere that can't be 6. And you'll notice this box has only one place for 6. So this is just going to be a 6. And we can just highlight these now if we want. So the 6 ends up in one of these two and one of these two. And these 6s, if it's in one of these two, they can't be over here. So none of these are 6. It's a 6 in one of these two. And I think that's what we get for the 6s. So we've learned something interesting, which is that this isn't 6 and this isn't 6. All right, I'm going to clear out that green though. Now, how are we adding to 6? Well, can these be the same way to add to 6, right? Can we do 1 plus 5 here and 1 plus 5 here? And the answer is no, because this cell can't repeat any digit that's on this arrow. And if it can't repeat a digit on this arrow, it has to be a different way to sum to 6. So we know that these are going to be 1, 5, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5, right? They're omitting the 3, but we also know that they're different from each other. They're different ways of adding to 6. But I don't know how we can resolve that at the moment. But it does mean the 3 ends up on this arrow here. So this can't be a 6, but now we know it's at least 4. This could technically be 1 plus 3 is 4, because it would remove 1 from all these. This would be the 1, 5, and this would be 2, 4. So we could be 4 or 5. Okay, what else can we say about what we found here? So this is 4 or 5. We know these are only from 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't be 5 or 6, because that would overblow this sum. So yeah, we know in this box then the 5 is in one of these 3. So this can't be a 5, because if this was a 5, we'd have 5, 1, and then this would be 2, 4, and we wouldn't have anywhere for 5 in the box. So if this isn't 5, that's not 1. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to need a 5 in this box, but there seem to be 3 places for it. The only way to make this a 5, though, is to make that a 5. I wonder if that's interesting. Not that I can immediately see. All right. So we can say something about these two cells. Let's come back up to here. This is a pretty common pattern you'll see in a 6x6 arrow. I think we've had it several times already in Sudoku Adventure, but because it's a fun pattern to think about. So let's think about what this digit is. I'm just going to call it green. And the question I'm going to ask is, where does it go in this row? Well, it can't repeat on its own arrow because we don't have 0 to add with it, and it can't repeat in the column, box, whatever you want to say. And so this is the only place it's going to go. Whether it sums to 5 or 6, this is going to be that 5 or 6. Now, what is this digit going to be then? Well, if we're adding to 5, then if we add to 5, these will both be 5. And adding to 5 omits the 6 from, the 6 is always omitted from these, and so this would have to be the 6. And if we add to 6, then the 3 gets omitted from these, so this will have to be the 3. So that's a good marking there. And we know these are the same digit. Now, what can I do with that? I don't think it forces it to be a 5 or a 6 specifically, but we do know that one of these two will be a 6. Actually, that's helpful. Why will one of these be 6? Well, if I try to omit the 6, my logic breaks. Because what's going to happen is this is going to be 3 and 5, but if this is a 5, the 3 needs to be on its sum. It has to be 2 plus 3. So it just doesn't work. Either this is a 6, in which case, yes, there's a 6 in one of these two, it's right here, or it's a 5, which forces the 6 to go here. So if 6 is in one of these two, that's going to point down and place the 6 in this box. Now we do need a 5 in one of these two cells, but again, I don't know what to do with that. Let's see, if this was a 5, this would be the 1-5 pair. If this was a 5, this would be 4, forcing both of these to be 1-3. There is a uniqueness argument. If you're willing to use uniqueness, we can't actually make this a 4, because these would both be a 1-3 pairs, and then there'd just be no way to resolve the 1-3 pair. There would be 2 solutions to the puzzle, with 1s here and 3s here, or 3s here and 1s here. We're not going to use uniqueness, but that would definitely be a viable way through this. I'm curious about, let's call this purple for now. Purple can be the same as green. But whatever purple is, it doesn't go here, and it doesn't repeat on its arrow. So this is actually purple, making this a 4 or 5 only. Now, can we do more with purple? So purple does not go here, because again, it can't repeat on this arrow, and then this purple says it's not here. So purple ends up on here. So, oh, I had that right, okay. Meaning that however we're adding to 6, if this is 2-4, then purple's a 4. If this is 1-5, then purple's a 5. And that is going to point in here, so purple ends up in one of these two. I don't know how helpful that is. It'd be interesting to like force purple onto another arrow other than this one. All right, do we think about this arrow then? We know it's at least 3, so it's 3, 4, or 5. Now, if it was a 3, does that actually work? We'd have a 1-2 pair here and a 1-2 pair here for 3. You know what's interesting is if it's not a 3, we get a 4-5 pair here, which forces purple to be 5. And so I don't think this can be a 5. No, it can't be a 5. If this is a 5, then where does 5 go in this box? Well, it goes here. And that would mean purple was 5, but we already know this is purple, right? So we can't do that. This cannot be 5 for that reason. And so we actually know that this is from 1, 2, or 3 and must contain a 1, because it's either going to be 1, 2, or 1, 3. This we have to be a bit more careful. We can still mark 1, 2, 3. It can't exceed 3, but it could be 2 plus 2. So we got to be careful about that case. Now, if it is 2 plus 2, that does put a 2 here. And that forces this to be 1, 5. So it does quite a bit. I don't know if it breaks anything. So yeah, what else do we have here? I could color the other 4-5, because we know the other 4-5's on here. Now here's the thing, we still don't know if green is purple. We have to be careful. We don't know that green and purple are different. We could put a 5 in green and a 5 in all the purples, and I think we still work out. Actually work out pretty well, I think. Oh, this can't be purple because it's a 1, 2, or 3. Perfect. So this is purple, meaning it's a 4 or 5, meaning it's not a 6. So that places the 6 in this box, which places the 6 in this box, which does mean that green is 5. So we are, and that does make purple 5 as well. Okay, so as I pointed out, they could be the same. They are. This is the 6 now. So these can't be 5. So that 5 is not on this sum. So it has to be 2, 4, making this have to be 1, 5. And we can clear out all the purple. All right. So this can't have 1 on it, making it a 2, 3 pair. Uniqueness told us these had to be different, so this is going to be 1-4, but we're not going to use that right now. But it's about to happen. So this 2-3 pair gives us the 4 and the 2 there. This can't be 2-3 anymore, making this have to be 4-1. This is not a 1. Oh, the 1 is placed here. We still don't know what this adds to. Okay. These are going to be 2-3-4. Okay, we're adding to 5. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4. How limited is that? That's not 1, making that not 4. This isn't 2, making that not 3. In general, we have 2, 3, 4 here. We have a 1, 3. Oh, we have a 1, 3 pair for the column, so that can't be 3. 2, 4 pair places the 3 here. That's our 2. Oh, this box finishes with the 3. All right, so that makes that a 4. So that's 3, and that's 2, making this have to be 2 plus 2. All right, that's 2 and 4. We get 4 and 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. We get the 1. 3 in the corner celebrating. We get the 6 and we get the 3. And our last 2 digits are a 3 and a 1, and we're done. All right, cool puzzle, Matt. I enjoyed that. I liked the coloring and how actually the 2 things I colored ended up being the same digit, which was proved in an interesting way. I wonder if there was a cleaner way to prove that before we just kind of resolved one of them and then resolved the other one. So it felt like they seemed connected, but I'm not sure exactly how. Cool. Really like these arrow patterns. They're always fun. Let me know if you used uniqueness or not. Uniqueness is a little bit scary to use in variants because you never know if a variant can cause those to resolve in some other way besides by Sudoku. But I knew that these had to be different by uniqueness because nothing else was like going to come in here and resolve them. Right? There weren't any other clues touching these cells. Anyway. That is the puzzle. Let me know how you did. If you enjoyed it, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.